5 signs of inattentive ADHD. Now, what is ADHD? Well, it can be identified with 3 different types. Hyperactive ADHD, which is the well-known common one, inattentive, and then combined with both of those, it's kind of like a mix of all of them. But today, let's focus solely on inattentive ADHD, which is the less well-known subtype. So today, you could finally understand why people may say to you, "How did you not know that? You've worked here for years." Or why you find it so hard picking a dish on a menu because it looks like they just all disappear the moment you need to pick one. Or going to search something on Google, but then by the time you get onto the Google homepage, you completely forgot what you were doing. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Number 1, losing things. Important items such as phone, wallets, and car keys. Sometimes you can completely forget you left the dog outside until they bark and tell you to come back in. Yes, you will misplace a lot of important items around the house and workplace. Difficulty paying attention. In adults, this is actually harder to spot. It's usually masked very well in an office environment or at home, but when there is a child involved at school, you can spot it a lot easier. Now, this person will expect a lot of difficulty focusing on lessons at school, struggling to take notes, and then retaining that information. You are easily distracted by noises or other stimuli outside of windows wherever you are working. Even if you are sat at home in an important conversation with your partner, your mind can't help but wander towards the squirrels in the trees outside. It's common for inattentive ADHDers to get speeding tickets because they just were not paying attention to speed signs and not paying attention to where they should be parking and receive a parking fine. So, if you are collecting speeding tickets and parking fines like Pokemon cards and you're completely unsure of how it's happening, you may have inattentive ADHD. Now, if this sounds like you may even experience a lot of careless mistakes at work, which will annoy you because they are just so damn careless. Daydreaming. Individuals with inattentive ADHD may be prone to daydreaming or zoning out, even during important conversations and activities. They are known to stare into space, frozen for several minutes, sometimes thinking about 1,000 things at once because the brain has to reboot itself to concentrate, and sometimes they're just daydreaming with actually nothing going on up there. Daydreaming can take place during conversations, meaning they miss out on a whole chunk of communication because they were daydreaming about something exciting that entered their mind. They will find a lot of people will say, "Hey, are you listening? Look at me. Tell me you're actually paying attention because you're busy looking outside again." Poor time management. Inattentive ADHD people may struggle with managing their time effectively. They will have difficulty prioritizing those tasks and may procrastinate on very important projects. I'll pay that bill later. I had to pay a late fee because I forgot to pay that bill. Damn it. This person will constantly arrive late to appointments, work appointments, first dates, picking the dog up from the vets, pretty much anything that has an appointment, they will forget. Disorganization. Individuals with inattentive ADHD may have trouble organizing their belongings or their workspace. They can misplace items, they can have a very messy living environment, work environment, and also the inside of their car can look like a backyard sale. And if you live with an inattentive ADHD person, you can actually hear in the distance very faintly, about 5 times a day, "Where is it? I literally just had this in my hand." Forgetfulness. So we talked about losing very important items, and that's because they forgot where they placed them. A lot of the time, car keys can turn up in strange places, such as a phone being placed under a bath mat in the bathroom, car keys being left right next to the toothpaste holders. Now, another sign is forgetting to go to appointments, completely missing them. They just never existed at all. Forgetting to reply to emails, forgetting to call up customers at work, forgetting the instructions parents give you, not reading directions on the other side of the pizza boxes. I think you get the point. Avoiding tasks that require mental effort. Individuals with inattentive ADHD may have difficulty with tasks that require sustained mental effort. For example, studying for exams or even reading very lengthy reports. They will become bored and restless and lack that motivation to keep on going, and instead, they seek out distractions to soothe their brain with dopamine-rich activities, even if it is just swiping through TikTok for 2 hours. So, where does ADHD come from? Well, recent studies tell us it's a genetic factor. It could also be a result of brain injury and exposure to harmful substances when you were a baby when your mum was pregnant. There are many debates over trauma and ADHD. Some scientists say that ADHD is just complex trauma, but others will say that a person with ADHD also has some PTSD things. It's very hard to unravel because they're very similar. Now, PTSD sounds pretty scary, post-traumatic stress disorder. We mainly think of shell-shocked soldiers seeing the worst of the worst during war, right? However, a child can experience PTSD from parents getting divorced. They could have experienced violence, physical absence of their parent or caregiver, emotional absence of parents and caregivers. Maybe they experienced poverty. There was a lack of emotional regulation taught to them from their parents and caregivers. Also, a parent with depression, anxiety, or a personality disorder has a higher chance of affecting their child's mental health due to their parenting styles, which can cause PTSD. So, I hope this video helped. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below, and I'll see you very soon.